Well, hi, Northwood family. Hello. It's so wonderful to see everyone in the chat. So excited to be here. Hi, I'm Beth Bryce, Director of Career Advancement for our adult degree program in DeVos Graduate School. And on behalf of Career and Alumni Advancement, we are so happy you are dropping in today. Hi, everyone. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Stephanie. So, my friends, we are living in extraordinary times. And for many of you, whether you're faculty, staff, alumni, students, or supporters of Northwood, it's likely that for the first time in your career, you are working full-time remotely. Or, as I've been speaking with many students and alums the last couple of weeks, you find yourself unemployed for the first time, filing unemployment. So it's our hope the discussion today may help you get your bearings, help you feel grounded at home, and establish some best practices so you can continue to be successful, whether you're working, taking classes, or job searching. Now, I've been working remotely for many years at different points in my career. I'm going to date myself now, but I'm going back to the late 90s when there was dial-up internet and certainly was no Zoom or Skype or Blue Jeans. And so I'm really happy to share my best 7 tips, things that I've learned along the way, and also speaking with my peers and coworkers that have worked remotely too. We hear the same consistent themes. Please, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I'll be sure, hopefully, to answer some live at the end of this. Got about 20 minutes together and 10 minutes for Q&A. If I don't get to them, I will certainly review the transcript and get back to you personally. So without further ado, let's get started for 7 tips to stay in the zone. We're going to start with boundaries, all of which you're in control of, okay? So when I'm career coaching someone, whether it's a professional, a supervisor, an executive, one of the things that we're talking about are establishing really strong personal boundaries, and it's really no different for you at home. And so the first thing I want to talk about is having a sacred space, right? So the reality is that working remotely is not laying on the beach with a Mai Tai swinging in a hammock. I'm sorry to break that news to you. As I've been speaking with people over the last couple of weeks, many of you are working from your dining room table, or in a bedroom closet, or under a stairway. I'm not going to name any names. You know who you are, right? If you're lucky, you have your own room and an office, a home office. But the point is, it's really imperative that you make whatever space you have your own. And so that means getting your music. If you're an office supply freak, guilty. Have your office supplies, your snack drawer. Maybe you're diffusing essential oil. I'm serious. Whatever you can do a nice picture, make it feel as comfortable as possible. Okay? Because it's your space, it's your office space. The next thing is working too much. And this has always been my biggest downfall. I will tell you this. Most people report that they are highly productive when they work from home because they don't have as many interruptions. Well, you know, some of you now are managing children at home, so you can bang out massive amounts of work uninterrupted in your pajamas, but eventually you might find yourself checking email at night, working on the weekends, and I'm telling you, eventually you will get burnt out, and that's a problem. So it's important to have a start and stop time at home. Just like going into the office, when you hit the light switch at the end of the day, you lock your door, you walk out, hopefully you're leaving the office behind. You have to do the same thing at home too, just for work-life balance. Otherwise, it is so easy to get all consumed. Okay, the next thing in boundaries is scheduling office breaks. mid-morning, lunch, go for a walk, mid-afternoon. Schedule them on Outlook, your Google Calendar, your watch. The reminder will pop up, and finish what you're working on. And if anything, just get up and stretch, get some fresh air. It will help you. So that's boundaries. All right, we're moving on. Tip 2. I'm checking. Okay, yeah, I'm checking the chat screen. I'm trying not to get too involved in that. So tip 2, schedule, schedule, schedule. Did I say schedule? Schedule. How can you stay focused and not get distracted with laundry, baking brownies, doing drywall in the middle of the afternoon? That wasn't an actual conversation I had last week. Yeah. So a couple of tips. So on the Myers-Briggs personality assessment, I am a very high J, which means I am like an extreme planner off the chart. But not everybody is like that. So for those of you who really struggle with time management, prioritizing, staying focused, the best thing and the simplest thing is this. 1 is eat the frog. Don't really eat a frog, but I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. What is that number 1 thing that you want to accomplish for the day? Put it at the top of your list. It might not be huge. It might not be all time consuming, but it's very important. It's at the top of the list. The next thing is a simple formula. 1, 3, 5. 1 big thing, top of the list. 3 medium goals, 5 little goals. And if that's all you can accomplish that day, at least you have a roadmap for your day. And you know, before you jump into your day, do your 1, 3, 5 list, right? So the next thing is managing your energy. And this is important when we talk about schedule. I am a morning person. I'm up at 5 a.m. This morning I was up. I had breakfast, I showered, I walked the dog, I had 2 cups of coffee, I fired up my office, all before 7:30. And I even got some meditation in there. So yeah, I'm a morning person. And I know you night owls right now are kind of rolling your eyes at me. Like you probably couldn't stand to be with me. But anyways, so know yourself. Are you a morning person? Are you an evening person? And that one big thing, when you can massively bang out work, pick, are you morning or evening? And fix your schedule like that. So I'm so focused in the morning. That is my most productive time. So understand that and recognize that and build your schedule around your high peak energy time. Make sense? Hey, really simple. 1, 3, 5 and manage your energy. All right, I'm moving on to interruptions. Family, pets, the doorbell. It's so important to prepare ahead. So if you're getting ready to get on an important meeting, like I did myself, I put my Jack Russell Terrier in his kennel in the bedroom. So because it is inevitable that he will start barking if anyone gets in a 10-foot perimeter of the house, right? And so, but here's a tip. And this might just blow your mind, but I want to give you permission when you start your video conference or your call to just simply say to the participant, hey, I just want to let you know that my Jack Russell might start barking wildly because it's garbage day. And then there's usually some kind of laughter. And so when inevitably he does start barking and you can hear him, we pause, we laugh, and we move on. So you're not going to have this anxiety about interruptions. And I would say the same thing for your children if you have children at home. Hey, I just want to let you know that it's my shift to have one eye on the kids and be working simultaneously. So there might be a point when my toddler comes in the room and wants a cookie or starts crying. And people are so understanding. So just put that out there at the beginning of your call. It reduces your anxiety, and then if and when it happens, it's actually funny. So just face it head on. The other thing is having a do not disturb sign. So whether it's a sheet of paper taped on the back of your laptop cover saying in a meeting, do not disturb, if you're sharing your space with a partner or your family. Or you could get a flip chart and put your important meetings on it. You could have a blue light, something to signify to the fam that, this is an important time for me. Please, understand that and have a conversation with it. The last thing is, which you will hear continually through this presentation, is ask for help. If you have a partner at home, you can tag team with your partner with your children, or if you have a contractor coming. What's important, and here's another really simple tip, is have a huddle with your partner in the morning, 5 minutes, compare your calendars, say, I have 11 o'clock that's really important, a 2 o'clock that's really important, what does your schedule look like, and cover for one another, right? So have that huddle in the morning. So that's interruptions. Those are a couple of really, really simple but highly effective tips. The next thing I want to talk about, oh, great, I'm checking out people. I'm so excited to see everyone. It's like 133 people here. Okay, I'm trying not to get distracted. Take my own advice. Number 4 is isolation. And it's different for extroverts and introverts. So I'm going back to the Myers-Briggs. Extroverts get their energy from people. They need people. And introverts get their energy from inside themselves. So what's really unique about me, okay, here's a fun fact. I'm an ambivert. I don't know if you ever heard that. I'm like dead center. So I can be an extrovert when I need to be. I can be an introvert when I need to be. But so here's how that looks differently for different groups of people. And how do you stay connected, for what you need, the level of what you need? So here's some tips. Social breaks, virtual social breaks. Okay, a 15-minute, your mid-morning break is going to be a virtual coffee break with your bestie, right? I mean, pop in, have some jokes, have some coffee, talk about how your day's going, and then pop right back out. So then at least you've been energized with a close friend or family. The other thing you can do is get a group of friends together in the evening or on the weekends. Here's what I have done. For many of you, you don't know, I split my time between Michigan and New Mexico. So when I'm in New Mexico, I am in the remote mountains of New Mexico. And I'm talking like almost off the grid. I have internet, right? And there have been days when I'm up to 100 days without actual human contact. It's all virtual. And that's another discussion for another show. Okay. But here's what I have done. I've joined groups. I have a writers group, writers all over the country. We meet tonight. We write and read together. I have an artist group. We meet once a month for 3 hours. We actually paint and create a piece together, 10 of us. So cool. I have a women's in leadership group. We meet monthly. We have a live chat just like this. And it's fantastic. Again, women all over the world. So I have different levels. I have one-on-ones with really important friends. I have creative groups, and I have a leadership group and your professional group. So I would really encourage you, if you belong to any professional organizations, now more than ever, check out what their virtual programming is. They could be having virtual meetings. They could be having virtual live keynote speakers. So check out your professional groups as well. So those are just some really simple tips. What's a 15-minute coffee break with your best friend, once or twice during the week? The last thing, which is a little different, okay, you might not have heard of this, but it's having a co-working space. So I know people who actually have a work buddy. It's like you are sitting beside someone in a cubicle. So they pop in for like 2 to 3 hours. They work side by side, doing completely different work. But there's something about that for them, because they need that interaction, that having someone in the background, like humming or asking questions or, like when you're in your office and somebody pops in with a cup of coffee to chit chat, they're actually doing this virtually. And it's a great way to keep you accountable, right? So it's not for everyone, but it is something to think about if you're really missing human interaction at that level. All right? Okay. I'm checking out over here. Hey, Nicole McKay, Janet Penn, Renee Dotson, thanks for joining us. Okay, I'm moving along. Communication, number 5. We're doing great on time. Number 5, I'm going to get a cup of coffee. So you know what they say, out of sight, out of mind, and it's so true. It's important that you are plugged into your team, your department, your institution, and have routine, consistent meetings. You're going to keep hearing this from me. Consistent schedules, consistent meetings, consistent breaks. That is the best thing for you when we talk about self-discipline and being focused. So, but just understand this. When you're talking about your team or your department, people's level of comfort is different. One person on your team or in the department may only need a monthly touch point. Another person, a couple of people, they want a weekly huddle. And sometimes when you're working on a major project, it is a 10-minute huddle every morning. So it just depends. Don't make an assumption. Ask your team member, what is your comfort level? Do you want to meet every Monday? Do you want to meet once a month? And in career advancement, we have weekly Monday meetings, but then we also have a monthly team meeting as well, all virtual. So just be consistent and be visible, right? And it's important when you're working remotely to scan and canvas the opportunities and look for ways to volunteer, to raise your hand, be present, to write, to post articles, to be on LinkedIn, so people know, hey, I'm still here. When this opportunity came up, I jumped on it. Absolutely. I wish I could hug all of you right now. I'm just so excited to see, well, I can't see you, but to see you here. So the last thing I want to talk about on communication is just some time zone etiquette. Be respectful of other time zones. So for me, I'm currently in Mountain Time. I have students and alum on the West Coast in Cali, right? They're Pacific Time. Texas is Central Time. Michigan campus is Eastern. On any given day, I am in 4 different time zones. I know. It's a sickness, right? But I manage it well because I use Outlook, and if the other participant is on their right time zone, it converts it. So there's no big deal. I've never messed up a meeting because of a time zone problem using Outlook. I will just say that. But here's what I want to say. As a professional, to be respectful, to be courteous, I always consider the participants' time zone over mine. So I'll give you an example. I might be ready, locked and loaded to go after 2-3 cups of coffee at 8 a.m., but I know that my student in Cali probably isn't feeling it at 7 in the morning. So I will be respectful and make sure, those meetings are, usually 9 o'clock is a great time to start meetings in other time zones, whatever their time zone is, right? And only occasionally, when I'm not on the East Coast, there might be a 6 a.m. meeting on the East Coast. I mean, it's fine for me, right? I'm a morning person. So I'm up. I'm on the call. I'm not dealing with Australia or an international nation, but that needs to be considered as well. So just be very, aware of the other person's time zone, and that kind of capitalizes everything. I hope that makes sense. It's just a common courtesy, and really you're building great relationships. People will appreciate you greatly. Number 6, technology. Okay, here's what I want to say. Just make your life easy. What is the easier way, right? Now, we're not all tech geeks, but it's not as difficult today as it was 10 years ago. So investigate your knowledge gaps. Are you familiar with VPN? You need somebody to walk you through that. Microsoft Teams, Blue Jeans. But here's what's really important, to have IT tech support and help right on your desk, because when something blows up, you know, your anxiety is already going to be high. The last thing you want to be doing is bumbling and fumbling around looking for IT, you know, 800 number. So have it handy, right? Hardware, software. Now, these are really inexpensive things that can make your life so much better and more comfortable in your home office. Having a laptop stand, a portable scanner, a wireless headset, noise canceling microphone, ergonomic mouse, your chair, your lumbar support, which I have right now, lighting, really inexpensive tools that make your life easier, right? And there's software out there, incredible software, time management, password tracking, project management, Evernote. At the end of this presentation, I have a couple of articles I want to share with you. You'll get that on the best tools and resources for remote workers. I mean, you can Google it, right? And just go through the list and pick a couple. Even if you walk away with one or two, like, wow, I never thought, you know, a laptop stand, $30. Now it's going to make my life a little bit easier, right? So think about that. The last thing around technology is have a backup plan. It's kind of what we tell our students, right? Have IT support number, have apps on your iPhone, your phone you use, have an iPhone stand. I have it right here, my iPhone stand and my lighting in case my computer goes down. I have the app, boom, I'm live on my phone, right? And I'm not holding it. You know, it's already in the stand. No inconvenience to me. So I even have an extra laptop. It's, you know, like a burner. But in case something was really critical, you know, the President of the United States might call me and he needs access to me, right? So, of course, I'm joking. He doesn't have my number. And then the last thing is all about self-care and self-discipline. I saved the very last for the most important for last. It's all about your routine, folks. Keep the same routine you had when you were going into the office. Show up as if. This is basic stuff, right? Shower when you used to, have breakfast when you used to, dress business casual. It's a completely different mindset than lounging in your unicorn pajamas. I mean, of course you don't have unicorn pajamas. I have unicorn pajamas. I'm not wearing them right now, but dress business casual because it will put you in a different mindset. Sleep, food, exercise, go to bed when you normally did, wake up when you normally do. Your body has a specific rhythm that it's had for years, and my best advice is don't change it. Don't stay up later. Don't get up later. It will throw you off. Now is not the time to be changing your body schedule. It will be hard to focus. You'll feel wobbly. You'll feel wonky. I love using that word wonky. I mean, how many times can you use wonky in a sentence, right? So, and exercise, whatever that means to you, walking, biking, yoga, sometimes it's just stretching, right? It's so important. If your body isn't on schedule, your mind will not be on schedule. We're talking about self-discipline and focus. It is the number one thing when it comes to remote working that is so important. So be disciplined about your boundaries, right? About your schedule, your connections with people. It's your responsibility to connect with people. Don't wait around for them to connect with you. Communication and all of your routines, and I promise you, you will be highly productive and you'll surprise yourself what you can achieve. So the last slide are some resources. Hal Elrod, if you haven't heard of this book, The Miracle Morning, 2017, I've written an article about it. It's just a small, easy little read. But Hal talks about 5 to 20-minute morning routine and getting that set up and established. It just highly successful people have a morning routine and they are just consistent with it. So get that book. It's really cool. Remote Working 101, Professional Guide to Tools of the Trade. That one just came out 5 days ago, so it's updated. Check it out. There might be a couple of things on there that speak to you that you haven't just thought about, and 31 tools that every remote worker needs. So there you have it, folks. Wow, I just did a major brain dump on you. I hope you took at least one nugget away from this conversation. I'd love to see what your biggest takeaway from today is in the chat stream. And if you have any questions, what is the biggest thing you're struggling with? Anything like that. I love wonky, James. James Hank says, I've heard Canadian broadcasters use it in the past. I did not know that. That is hilarious. Dan Goodell, any specific tips around extra communication? You know, Susan Jeske asked, that's a great one. You know, here's what I learned from Carolyn Everson, who is the CMO of Facebook. I heard her speak in Detroit, and she said one of the things that she does is she puts out a weekly email to her team about what she personally did well that week, what she could have done better with it that week, what the department did well that week, what the department could have done better, and what's going on in the organization. And so that is something that you could do, a weekly email to people that you work closely with, just a touch point, an update, you know, what you did well, what's going on in the week for you, what you need help with, besides just normal meetings. Having a personal weekly newsletter to your coworkers. And they might not necessarily be your staff. It's just your coworkers. I hope that helps. Sophie Adams says, I will definitely use the 135 roadmap for my daily to-do list. Yes, great, Sophie. Oh, it's great to see you here. Melissa Cockrell says, it's great. Asking for help is huge. Absolutely. Jessica, I'm very new to working from home. I have 2 kids at home, and I love the social break idea and joining virtual groups. Fantastic. I want this to work as I'm about to graduate and work remotely. Oh, you need to reach out to me. And for any of you, Beth K, letter K, Beth K at northwood.edu. Reach out to me if you have any additional questions, if you want to connect. We can have a coaching session. We can have coffee together. I would love to hear from you. Rebecca, same thing. 135 technique gives her goals. Julie, Kevin Lapham asked how to prevent 12-hour days while working in multiple time zones. Oh my gosh, Kevin, this is my life. This is my life, right? So I will tell you this. I usually book out my schedule a week in advance, and Sunday I am sitting down and I am meticulously going over my calendar, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, seeing who I'm meeting with, how do I need to prepare, what time zones are they in, and that helps tremendously for me. So I know if I need to get up earlier, if I need to get up later. I mean, you are in control of your schedule at home. So the best thing I could tell you is have a Sunday, strategic plan on your calendar. I mean, like Navy SEAL, Navy SEAL strategic plan on what your days look like and what you need to accomplish. Who are you talking to? Prepare in advance. because that will just be more efficient, more productive, and you won't be wasting extra time during the week figuring out what you need to do on every day. I hope that helps. Lauren, I love the idea of consistent routine, somewhat challenging with a 5-month-old, right? Absolutely. I've seen a lot of people post that they actually, take these big white flip charts or a chalkboard and they write out their schedule on a daily basis. It helps them, and it also helps their partner if they have a partner at home right now. Obviously things are going to come up and things need to be shifted as long as you have a plan. You're so welcome. I'm so glad that these were awesome ideas. Betsy Dunham, Betsy! Oh, wonderful to see you here. I have sent emails and IM messages to coworkers asking for feedback and guidance on how to handle something, and I have gotten back crickets. How do I handle this? Well, Betsy, I can tell you this, that people are in a state of overwhelm right now. They are in a state of high anxiety and overwhelm. And the best thing, a couple of things, you can be patient, and you could, if you have their phone number, right? I know I'm going old school on you, but if it's important, text them or even call them. Or, what I'm hearing, maybe it makes sense to have a weekly team meeting set up, 15 minutes, and just huddle up, see what fire drills are burning. Anybody has questions. And so, it might not be an emergency thing. You're looking for an answer, but can it be handled with a weekly meeting? Just something off the top of my head. But Betsy, you should reach out to me. We can talk through this. I would love to talk to you. It's been a while. Christian Greenman, any advice or alternate approaches for coworkers or students who do not respond to emails in the virtual environment? No, it's a great question. Kind of what I just answered for Betsy, right? Is it phone? Is it text? Maybe it's something unique. I'm going to go old school again, right? A handwritten card mailed to their home if you have their home address. So just thinking outside of the box. Or if you're dealing with, you're welcome, people. I'm trying not to get pulled into here. But if you're dealing with a group of collective students that you're working with, maybe it's a weekly newsletter or a video newsletter to your students, right? So a 2-minute video to your population that you're working with, just giving them an update, checking in, I'm here for you. That might be another tool as well, because video, we know video is king and queen right now. Let's see, Dan, I'm just trying to read if there are any other questions I see here. I know we're at a little after 12:30, and if you're being consistent with your schedule, you might be getting ready to have lunch and take the dog for a walk, which is really good. I'm starting to see the numbers drop down, but we still have well over 100 people on the line. So Julie Adamchak, she's encouraging all of you to fill out our post-webinar survey. Please do, so we may continue to provide you quality content online. And there's lots of topics I know I could talk about. One being if you're job searching at this moment, students and alums, or maybe even Northwood supporters, what does that look like in the state of the state, right? I have a lot of ideas around that and coaching around that, not to give up and to continue and make sure if there's any one thing that you could be doing right now, it's networking. Networking is more critical now more than ever. And, I started this presentation with saying we are having extraordinary times. And I love that word extraordinary just because we are the leaders, right? We are the leaders of Northwood University. And here we have an opportunity to be extraordinary, to change, to adapt, to pivot, quickly and be extraordinary for our families, our communities, and the world. So I have the very, very much most, very much mostest, I'm hugging you right now, faith in our leaders and our country and in the world that and in our institution. And so be extraordinary. And I hope the tips today will help you. Very simple tips to continue to be extraordinary from your home office, whatever that looks like for you. And wouldn't that be great if it was all on a beach with a Mai Tai and a hammock? So, all right, folks. I'll just keep looking at the screen, see if I have any questions. Everybody's thanking me. That's wonderful. I'm glad this was helpful. Best portal for virtual meetings from Donnie. We use Blue Jeans at Northwood for the regular user. I mean, Zoom. I found Zoom to be more effective than Skype. And Zoom stock, by the way, has gone through the roof if you've watched that lately, as you can imagine. So, and it's very simple. So if you're not familiar with Zoom, try that out, Donnie. I hope that's helpful. Yeah, Pamela Hamza says, I'm enjoying hearing your info while I work, so maybe the co-working thing is what I need. Thank you. That's great. It's absolutely, yes, yes. I think what's important is that we are in control of our own schedules. We are in control of the way that we communicate with people, and don't wait for people to reach out to you and ask for help, ask for what you need. I'm so glad, Andrea. I've got my bifocals on here, so and the name is so small. Andrea Shasky, thank you for the info. Just listening to a different perspective has helped, and I agree with Pamela. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, folks. I think the chat stream is really slowing down, so I wish we could hang out all day together. I would love that. You might get sick of me because I can talk for days. But I really encourage you to reach out anytime. Beth K at northwood.edu. I'm here for you. Career advancement is here for you. Alumni advancement. Renee Dotson says, speaking of networking, anyone here on here hiring? That's awesome, Renee. Renee, you get like bonus points for asking that question. Be sure to check out Handshake, our Northwood internal job boards. Phenomenal tool. If you don't have an account, we have hundreds and hundreds of local employers who are posting positions on there, as well as it's tied into a national database. Fantastic. Thanks, Nancy. Thanks, Janet Penn. So glad you joined us. You know, I'm seeing like 70 people are still on the line, which tells me even more that people are just starving for connection, right? I mean, we're humans. We need each other. So this is fantastic. And if I gave you anyone, I love to give homework assignment. So an easy homework assignment for you, well, I've given you lots of homework assignments, but an easy homework assignment would be set up a coffee date, a 15-minute coffee break with someone this week. Well, no, it's Thursday. Yeah, you're not going to get off that easy. Friday. You have until next Friday to set up a coffee break with someone and connect with someone. Fantastic. Judy Quarters asked, if someone wasn't able to see this, will it be available? Yes, we're recording this, Judy. We absolutely are. And those links will be set out to our Northwood family. And I'm sure it will be able to be shared to the public as well. So Yeah, Meg, coffee break. I mean, who doesn't love coffee, right? Coffee and dogs. Oh, I'm talking about me. Oh, John Roberts. Someone asked about portals. MS Teams is great if organization has MS. Yes, we use MS Teams. Okay, Judy. Thanks, Greg. Everyone stay safe. Thanks, Tara, Duffy, Melanie. All right. I think we're done. Have a fantastic